Things are gonna get crazy!
Most everyone's mad here.
Hey, welcome back everybody to AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. How are you all doing, everybody? Hopefully you're all ready for this week, especially for you Americans, considering that American Thanksgiving is coming up. And especially in terms of movies, we're going to be getting a whole bunch of the big ones that are coming in. I mean, we've already gotten Gladiator 2 and Wicked, and Moana 2 is not that far off. It's actually coming very soon. And then, of course, we got all the December ones. So, long story short, we got a whole lot that we are going to be thankful for. But before I continue, I just want to go and let you all know right now that this is going to be an all-trailer episode. And the big reason is because, well, last week we have gotten a whole bunch of trailers and also animation news that have been coming out one after another. And I know I couldn't go and talk about literally everything because then this whole thing would be like 4 to 5 hours. But I want to let you all know right now that for this episode, we're just going to be checking out all the new major trailers that have come out this past week. And in terms of the animation news and the other big news to talk about, you know, all the stuff like Pamela Hayden retiring from The Simpsons, all the animated films that are eligible for next year's Oscars, and especially Muppet Vision 3D, I'll be talking about next week. I'll be saving it for that time. But considering that we've gotten so many trailers, I cannot do this alone. Yes, for the first time in quite a while, I have a special guest star with me. And this is one that honestly, I'm excited to go and have an episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast with. Funny enough, though, she's not necessarily known as a movie girl, but she is a Lego girl, actually. She's a lot more well known for that, especially when she has a YouTube channel with over 600,000 subscribers. But not to mention that the movie part on her, she's actually known as a writer. And considering the major premieres that she had been attending from like the animated Lego specials and also Piece by Piece, maybe she could be getting close to that dream. So please welcome to AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, Sarah Genao, or I am so
Genao.
Okay, I should have asked you this before. I am so
You're good.
sorry.
Everybody gets it wrong.
Okay.
Everybody gets it wrong. Genao. Heck, who even knows if that's the right pronunciation? But that's how I've been saying it my whole life.
So,
of course, just too good on YouTube. But
so how are you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. Saying I'm a writer and stuff like that. I am writing a feature, but we'll see how that turns out. I mean, it'll probably be bad. And I do write on my Letterboxd account like crazy, which is, probably a bit too snobby for some of y'all, and I'm so sorry if I try not to be snobby or anything like that.
Honestly, I have been thinking, like, should I try Letterboxd? I never have an account, actually.
Yes, you should. It's awesome. And I'm sure it's good promotion too. But I love Letterboxd. Following my friends, and a lot of people I watch, it's like the best. I don't really look at the top reviews and everything, because most of them are like jokes or very long reviews that I don't agree with. So I just like keeping in contact with my friends and people I follow and stuff like that on the internet.
Okay. I'll definitely consider it for next year to see what I could do with it. Yes. And by the way, yes, and as people in the chat wall have stated, yes, we did collaborate before, considering that Sarah actually showed up as a special guest on my video on the history of Playmobil. And she definitely helped me out so much on that, especially giving that toy collector's perspective.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I was very self-conscious about my appearance there because I'm like, I hope I was helpful. Honestly, I mean, that was so much fun, and thank
Oh,
you for having me on because I've been a fan of your channel for I don't know, probably 10 years at this point. Like, I love your stuff. Like, it's just I always watch your reviews. I'll watch them in chunks, but like it's like okay, got to catch up on AniMat's reviews.
thank you so much. I mean, it's crazy that I've been doing this for so long, and when people remind me like they've been watching me for like 10, 11, 12 years, it's like, oh my god, like where has the time gone?
I know, right?
But anyways,
It's
we
crazy.
do have a show to go and begin. And Sarah, I want to go and ask you, are you ready for today's episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast?
I'm so hyped. I wrote notes and everything. Like I'm very, very ready. Let's do this.
Awesome. All right, now chat wall, are you ready for today's episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast? Let me hear it, folks. Are you ready? Let's see now. Yes, yes.
I'm ready.
I see people are prepared. That's beautiful. And now, with all that said, it is now time that we shall go and get things started. And with our first trailer that we are going to be checking out, I figured might as well go and do this in terms of their release date. We're going to go with, starting with the one that's coming out the soonest, all the way down to what's going to be coming out much later in 2025. And with our first one, well, it's going to be less than a month in terms of its release. So, Sarah, just out of curiosity, you've seen the other Sonic movies before?
Yep, I've seen, I was going to say all three, but I'm like, wait, all two for the theatrical releases. I grew up with that OVA. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh.
don't know if I've heard, if I've seen it, but I've definitely heard of it.
Oh, my brother and I used to like spam that VHS in our VHS player, and yeah, that was like one of my favorite things to watch. But yeah, I saw both Sonic movies in theaters because I love the old Sonic games, especially like the Genesis games. I have a soft spot for like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, so I have to show up for my blue hedgehog,
Of course. And I'm sure many people are going to be checking out for their blue hedgehog, not only for him, but also for that red and black hedgehog. And now that we got another trailer to see how things are going to go, so with that said, let's go ahead and begin this by checking out the trailer for the upcoming third movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
That is right.
Here we go.
And that is Sonic the Hedgehog 3, to which the movie is going to be coming out in theaters on December 20th. So, well, I gotta say, this is actually pretty interesting what we just saw.
It looks like a lot of fun. I am very hyped for the Chow stuff. Like they have like a Chow cafe or something, and I think that is like adorable, and I want that to exist in real life. Now I want a whole Sonic theme park. But then also, Jim Carrey is doing a dual role.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's cool. And I think Jim Carrey honestly might be my favorite part of these movies. I love his wackiness in these movies as Robotnik. So yeah, I'm down. I will be honest, the first two movies didn't really hit with me. But we'll see. They're making this one a lot more epic feeling, like it's the end of the world kind of. I don't know.
Really? It didn't hit you? Could you explain a little further?
Oh, for the first and second movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first movie, I don't know. It felt a little bit. I like the second movie more than the first movie because the first movie I felt at some points with Sonic's story, it took itself way too seriously with like some kind of poor plotting in my. The whole like long claw thing and everything I don't think worked, and there was like 3 like fart jokes in there that were like completely unnecessary. I didn't really connect with the humor beyond Jim Carrey doing a goofy role. The second movie, it was so crazy, and it took itself a lot less seriously. that I felt like it connected with me more because I liked that goofier tone for what they were going for. And I mean, not to say that there wasn't, like, for example, I didn't like that whole, like, wedding storyline or whatever. That was, like, really out of nowhere. And I think even the first movie has that problem where we have a little bit too much of these humans that are, like, surrounding Sonic's life. But yeah, we'll see how this third one is, though.
Yeah, okay, I understand what you mean. I will admit I'm not too big of a fan of the first movie either. I thought it was just like meh. But the second one I felt like was a big, excuse me, a big improvement, especially when they decided to go all silly, all like go nuts with it, like pretty much channeling the energy of Jim Carrey with his performance as Dr. Eggman.
Exactly. I will say one thing, sorry, because I just remembered this, is I wish these movies used more of the music from the game, because the songs from the game really, like, that's like maybe my favorite part of Sonic. I love the music of Sonic games. This one actually uses one of the songs from Sonic 06. Do, 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 do. The trailer that we just saw right now used that. So that's kind of cool. I hope, again, they use more music from the games, because the music from the game is just so great, and you can make cool remixes of it.
Is it Sonic 06?
I might be wrong, because I'm less familiar with Sonic 06, but I think that is. Definitely Sonic fans in the chat. Is that song from Sonic 06?
Yeah, chat wall. You can go and... Yeah, because, you know, the funny thing is, I do remember that song. Like, I know which one you're talking about. I don't know where it's from specifically, because I only recognize it from... Oh, it is Sonic 06. You're right. It's his world.
His world? Yeah, his world. I do love that song. I actually haven't played Sonic 06, but that song is like one of my favorite Sonic songs post Genesis era. So I'm glad they used that, and I'm like I'm hyped, you know.
Funny enough, I actually recognize it through, I think it's one of the Smash Bros. Games, or definitely one of the later ones. That's what I recall it.
Introduced in Brawl. Yeah, they use, you know, when Sonic first showed up in Brawl, by that time it was like 2008, I think they put it in there, but yeah, and they've used it in every Smash game since, which, you know, I love Smash as well.
Yeah. By the way, just a quick side note. By the way, thank you so much, TS Gaming Zone, for being this episode's new fish, or well, we'll see if there are more new fishes that will be coming. But at the same time, I do want to mention that one thing that does surprise me from this trailer is seeing the two Robotniks working together, because in the last trailer, we saw the Jim Carrey Robotnik that he was about to collaborate with Sonic the Hedgehog, that they were about to team up. And then in this one, it's like, okay, I guess that narrative is going to be dropped, and now the two, the old Robotnik and the young Robotnik are going to be collaborating together. So I was wondering, how is that going to blend in together? You know, how are they going to, like, connect these two plot lines, or which one is going to come first? Like, I was a little bit confused, but one thing I will say, though, I did enjoy the comedy. That is still great, and I love the Detective Pikachu joke right at the
I was
start.
amazed they put that in there. Yeah, I was like, wow. You know, it was like, I think it was like Eternals or something. Forgotten Marvel Studios movie at this point, but they referenced Superman in there, and I'm like, this is like breaking my brain. That's such a interesting reference. So I guess Pokemon exists in the Sonic world, and I find that funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we just talked about Smash, so technically Sonic has collaborated with Pikachu and some of the other Pokemon before, but it's kind of crazy to see that, like, to see the Sonic characters verbally acknowledge Pokemon, especially Knuckles, where now we officially have Idris Elba saying Pika Pika.
That's right, yeah.
Like,
I got Idris Elba's Knuckles, and then Keanu Reeves as Shadow. I mean, interesting voice cast. But yeah, I really liked him as Knuckles last movie, so yeah, excited for more voice work from them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just want to go and show again, like, that little part with the reference of Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu?
He does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika.
That is great. Already that had me sold right there. Just like the characters in the Chow Cafe and Knuckles going Pika Pika. Already that's like, okay, you got me there.
So yeah, I'm. This is the most excited I've been for any of the Sonic movies, to be honest. Because again, I thought surprisingly the second movie was, usually we don't expect that, but the second movie was better than the first. So maybe the third movie will be better than the second. Maybe we'll get better with each one. So
Yeah, hopefully
I'm hyped,
so.
and the trailers have been exciting. They're doing a lot of things from the adventure games and even like Shadow the Hedgehog. So yeah, I'm really hyped, honestly.
Yeah, same here. As someone who actually grew up with Sonic Adventure 2, specifically the GameCube version, I am curious
yeah.
to see what they're going to do with this, especially now we're seeing elements from that game now being adapted onto the big screen. Not just Knuckles' backstory with Maria, but now we're also seeing the giant egg cannon that's taking down a piece of the moon. Oh, and by the way, just a quick, you probably just saw your friend Brickby is also here in the chat.
Yeah,
so.
he's a cool guy. He's the misprint Lego dealer, they say, or production errors and stuff like that. He has such cool ones, so it's cool to see him in there. I'm looking to the chat and saying hi to some peeps. It's fun. It's fun.
All right, hey, that's great. Hey, if you're having a great time with the chat, then all the better. And speaking of the chat, by the way, let's go and ask them, what do they think about the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 trailer? Did you guys enjoy this one? Do you have any questions that you would like to raise about what we have just seen? Let me know what you all think. Let's see what we got here. As someone who really enjoys the first two Sonic movies, I am super excited for this. I love how it does stay true to Sonic Adventure 2. The visual and action scenes are awesome, and I am in love with Keanu Reeves as Shadow, and just seeing him with that gun is awesome. So overall, I am so excited for this. And I know I'm going to see this instead of wasting my time with Mufasa. Then and that's another thing. And that's another like flavor of fan service that they're also adding in. And like something even I'll admit, like I get why people are excited to see the fact that Shadow the Hedgehog has a gun.
The only thing that makes me kind of worried is that, hopefully it's not necessary, but it got rated PG. So I'm like, hey, I don't want you to hold back too much, Maybe PG-13 would have been cool, but we'll see.
I can't imagine. Like, honestly, with the way that they're showing Shadow the Hedgehog's abilities, I don't know if he's really going to be using that gun, Like, with what he could do, he has ways that he could be more effective than a gun.
That's true. That's like when Lego does a set and they give like Spider-Man a helicopter, and I'm like, does Spider-Man need a helicopter? Like, come on.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're going into Adam West Batman territory at that point.
Exactly.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Man, talk about a chaotic ride. Not only are the visual effects amazing, but Shadow's presence is absolutely incredible, both with Keanu's performance and the fact that he has his Glock. The action is still top-notch, and the Detective Pikachu name drop was surprisingly funny. Knuckles has canonically played Pokemon. That's pretty based. I'm definitely going to watch it, mostly because one important factor. Robotnik did it! He pissed on the moon! How do you like that, Obama?
Yeah, but seriously, like, remember, where did this film franchise start with that horrible Sonic design? And they fixed that, and look where we're at now.
Yeah, now it's becoming a trilogy, and it even has a spin-off series. So like, yeah, it does.
Yeah,
like
I have to see that still.
When you listen to what fans want, sometimes beautiful things can happen.
Exactly, literally.
Let's see what other comments. Okay, I haven't read this one yet. Man, they are not playing around anymore. You could tell that this is going to take full advantage of what the first two movies, and to a lesser extent, the Knuckles series, build up to. And also, this will be the third movie where Jim Carrey ruins Christmas. But if Paramount can bring back the Chow Garden, why can't Sega? Also, Sonic has canonically met Pikachu in Smash Bros. Why isn't he saying anything about that? Well, it's only the trailer so far. But we know at least we know Knuckles, if we are going by that logic of Smash Bros, he has met Pikachu. Knuckles has met Pikachu as well, considering that he is an assist trophy in Ultimate. Or not just Ultimate, but I think also the Wii U and 3DS version.
Yeah, I think he was introduced there because I know we had Shadow as an assist, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I mean, this is the movie universe, so I'm sure if we ever get a Smash Bros. Movie, it'll take place after these movies.
Yeah.
So maybe he hasn't met Pikachu in this movie world. And it'll be funny because if Pokemon's a franchise in this world, maybe it'll be like a multiverse thing, which, you know, I am kind of sick of multiverse things, but where it's like, oh, wait, you know, Knuckles will be like, oh, you're an actual thing in another world, you know, like. I want to see a crossover movie between all these, even if I wasn't so hot on like the Mario movie and stuff like that. Let's do a big crossover of Smash Bros. It would be so cool.
That would be insane. Like if all the studios can agree to collaborate. I mean, so far the closest thing we've got is Wreck-It Ralph, and that's it.
That's true. That's true. Sonic was in Wreck-It Ralph 1, right? And Eggman, yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Sonic was in both. I don't know if Eggman was in the second one, but I know he's in the first.
Yeah, that was like. Now I'm thinking back to Wreck-It Ralph 2012. Like that was mind blowing seeing all that like crossover there with Bowser there and everything. I was like, oh my gosh!
And and this was delivered by Disney of all freaking companies.
Yeah, and then in my opinion, they botched it with the sequel.
I enjoyed the sequel. Like
you enjoyed it?
Not as good as the first, but I saw what it was doing. Honestly, there have been worse sequels out there.
Fair enough. You know, we are coming from Disney with the Disney Toon sequels that are kind of weak or whatever, but yeah. So there are worse.
All right, moving right along. I'll just read a few more trailers and then we'll go on our first break. This trailer got me amped, I'll tell you that. Like, everything seems very exciting and actually hilarious, like the Knuckles Pikachu joke. It's finally something that ain't coming from Jim Carrey that makes it funny. Okay, not entirely true, since it was so funny to see, that we see his double steal Christmas again, except less green this time. At least he could finally call a taxi. I will be willing to see this when I get the chance. Hopefully, Pika Pika. All right, let's see what else do we got here. Gotta Go Fast in theaters on December 20th. This trailer really sparked my interest. They got the suit that Dr. Eggman wears in the games, Shadow carrying a gun like in Shadow's standalone game, and they brought the chaos or the chows in the movie as well, even though they're just merchandising and mascots, which I was a bit disappointed, but hopefully Sonic 4 will have them, and include Cream the Lab Rabbit as well. I'll hope to see this sooner once I move to Alabama next Friday. All right. Let's see.
You said KL for a second. I remember for like when I used to play Sonic Adventure 2, I called them KL for like the first 5 years of playing that, and somebody's like, it's actually Chow. That was kind of nostalgic.
Yeah, I understand. At first, like the naming is just weird. It's like I get it, but then like going from chaos to Chow, it's like okay, like I need time to like adjust. All right, I think I'll read one more comment here. I was already hyped for this movie before the first trailer came, but thanks to this trailer, I am extremely excited for this movie. Shadow is my favorite Sonic character, and seeing him look so badass in this trailer is awesome. The jokes are funny, and it looks like a lot of fun. I'm thinking of watching this multiple times in theaters. All right, so if you are all hyped up to go and check out Sonic the Hedgehog 3, then keep in mind that it will be coming soon in theaters on December 20th. And so, we're going to go on to our first break right now. And when we do come back, we're going to be moving a little bit forward, not too long after Sonic 3, in which we will go and check out Stop Motion's favorite dynamic duo now coming back for their second movie, so stay tuned for that. And we are back. Now, on to our next trailer. We're gonna go with what is technically the first animated feature that will be released worldwide in 2025. Now, Sarah, I do have a question for you. Are you familiar with Wallace and Gromit? Are you?
You cut out, but you're probably asking, am I a fan of Wallace and Gromit?
Yes, that's actually what I said.
Okay, good. Well, I'll be honest. I saw Curse of the Were-Rabbit when I was young, and I liked it, but that might be the most I've seen. I haven't seen the shorts, really.
Really?
I should be seeing those. Yeah, I saw Creature Comforts recently, but I haven't... Right, Creature Comforts is Aardman's other thing for the shorts?
Yes, it is.
I saw those, or a lot of those. But yeah, I still got to see the Wallace and Gromit old shorts. I've seen some other Aardman stuff like Flushed Away and stuff like that. So I won't say I'm a huge Wallace and Gromit fan. Fortunately, but I gotta watch more.
Well, I mean, if there is one thing that can encourage you to go and check out more of Wallace and Gromit, well, they do have a new movie that's going to be coming out, one in which has already gotten great reviews, actually, considering that a few weeks back, it already had its premiere. I think it was at the AFI Festival. And yeah, it's already been getting some great reviews. And a lot of people are already saying that it's currently a major competitor for award season for Best Animated Feature.
Really? I mean, crossing my fingers for the nominations of Best Animated. Memoir of a Snail, Mars Express, those two are both potentially nominated, and I want those to win, but we'll see. Maybe this could be the third one where I'm like, that could win too, and I'll be happy.
Well, I mean, we shall see. But first of all, let's go ahead and actually check out our next trailer here, in which we will watch Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Fowl.
Feathers McGraw.
And that is Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Fowl, to which it will be premiering on the BBC on Christmas Day, and then it shall be released worldwide on Netflix on January 3rd. So, just out of curiosity, as someone who is not as familiar with Wallace and Gromit, what did you think of the trailer?
I'll be honest, it didn't really hit with me. I'm sorry, y'all. It didn't really hit with me. First off, I haven't seen a lot of Wallace and Gromit, but I don't know if the new voice actor, it sounds off to me. I don't know. I guess this is how people felt, when we got a new Kermit voice actor the first time, which I did like. The second one and the third one is a little off to me. But that's the Muppet talking. But yeah, the humor didn't really hit with me. You got some plot relating to a smart device getting hacked and stuff like that, and I'm kind of tired of these anime movies talking about smart devices and everything. We have Toy Story 5 coming out talking about that too. But I know that's probably a small aspect. Love the main theme of the film though. I love that Wallace and Gromit theme. Do 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 do. And the stop motion looks lovely. But yeah, other than that, it didn't really hit too much with me. I haven't seen enough of them, so maybe if I saw more, I'd be because I know Feathers McGraw is a returning character, so maybe I'd be more hyped.
Yeah, especially with how this is a sequel to one of their shorts, The Wrong Trousers. And essentially, this one is kind of an expanded version of that. And for me, I already see a lot of the parallels between the short and what they're doing with this movie, especially with in this case here, the movie, Wallace's invention is a smart gnome, but in The Wrong Trousers is this mechanical robotic pair of pants. And they kind of intertwine, where Feathers McGraw finds a way to go and hack in those robots, or find a way to take control of them for his own nefarious scheme. And from there, it's up to Wallace and Gromit to go and try to stop them. And I will say, though, that I do understand where you are coming from, because the trailer is not showing as much to really be hyped up for. Because a lot of it is just emphasizing just like conceptually it does seem a bit simple, and yeah, nowadays we can
Even
see
you said, it's almost like a retread of something they've done before, which is
Mhm.
interesting. And that to me, I would be less inclined to watch if they're just doing something that one of their most iconic shorts did already. But keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, I feel like the worst case scenario of this, and I mean, like, I know we've already talked about how the reviews just came out and they say that it's like actually really great. But one thing that there is a bit of a worry for me is like because of this retread, the worst case scenario would be like with the second Chicken Run movie. Have you seen that film?
I didn't see it. I saw the first one, but I heard that the second one was kind of a retread of the first one, but worse.
Yeah, like it really, yeah, like I mentioned this in my review, but it really did feel like that like Dawn of the Nugget is kind of like it's kind of like a Disney direct to video sequel.
That's
Of
probably why I
Chicken
heard
Run.
it from your review.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the animation is amazing, but other than
Yeah,
that,
of
though,
course.
it's like, it really did not hit as much as the first, and that's what I am a little bit worried with Vengeance Most Foul is just if we are going to be getting the same story, if we're doing the same things with the wrong trousers, but now as a feature film. So if they're dependent on like the nostalgia of it, if they're doing a little bit of the same steps like they did in Dawn of the Nugget, then that would be a little bit worrisome. But I will say though, for me, honestly, like I do see a lot of the positives as well. A lot of the things that does actually work great. The animation, number one, being awesome, and not to mention there are some times where they want to really be action packed, where they did show there was one time like now there's a giant train scene, which again is kind of a nod to the original, not at this part, but it's just right next to it, but they now they're doing like a big train moment where there's going to be a lot of action and a lot of like chases going on. So
trains always look great in cinema, so like I always love seeing a train scene and stuff like that.
You would love the one in the wrong trousers. Like it's actually there is like a runaway train scene, but it's like a train model that they're trying to catch up with each other on model trains. That was actually a lot of fun.
Honestly, I'll probably watch that tonight. The wrong trousers. Like that sounds fun.
Yeah, you should. You should check out those trailers or those shorts. They are absolutely wonderful. But yeah, like the animation already looks great, and a lot of the jokes I will say they're definitely cute. Not I wouldn't say like they're absolutely hilarious, but they are definitely there's a lot of them that they show that it's a lot of fun, and also, well, no pun intended, it is also cheesy, where like they're not taking themselves seriously. And I will admit, like the whole idea with the smart gnome thing, I know you argue that we've already done like the
I'm taking it from animated movies.
Yeah, like the commentary on modern technology, but as a Wallace and Gromit fan, I am optimistically curious to see what they would do, because it's like now this is the Wallace and Gromit version, and Wallace is known to be this kooky inventor, so now he has his own smart device that he has created with the smart gnome. So it's kind of like this goofy British version of like the apps that not the apps, but like the devices that we all know.
But yeah, it does make sense because, like you said, he is an inventor. But yeah, I really hope they don't do like this smart device stuff that I've seen from. I hate Miller's vs. Machines.
Yeah.
Like I was going to call it Connected. I hate that I was going to call it Connected. Miller's vs. Machines. Leo. You could have some wild robot in there. Like Toy Story 5 is going to do it. All these, even Toy Story Before Time. It's like. I want some good jokes there if you're really going to do that smart device thing. And I've seen that in so many animated things. And I'm like, I don't know. Why is that the topic that they would talk about so much recently? But yeah, I don't know.
But then again, I mean, I get it, honestly, because I went on, not too long ago, I did go on vacation. And I mean, the amount of kids that are still like dependent on their smartphones and stuff like that. Like, I understand. It's, it's something that you kind of have to, like, retell in order for, like, the newer generations to actually get to their heads. Like, hey, the thing that you're watching YouTube on? Yeah, maybe it's best not to check that out all the time. It's like, it's one of those things. I get it that it is repetitive, but considering how nowadays with many young kids that still use their tablets, that still need an electronic device, especially when parents use them as like babysitting machines, at that point, like, you need to get the message across to them, even if you have to try to do it a few times. So again, yeah, repetitive and maybe not the most original idea, but it is one that is necessary, where at some point, like, you gotta get that message through to the kids.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying. For me, I love watching movies that give me fresh and new experiences. So I'm always looking for new stuff, and so tropes and things like that just kind of get on my nerves and everything. But tropes can be used to discover new things. So, like I said, might be funny.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, and same with me. I mean, like, that's what I do as a critic. Try to go and find some new experiences and which ones, like, can really stand out and stick. All right, but yeah, overall, I will say on my part, like, I haven't seen the major hype that critics have been saying yet in this particular trailer, but already I have been seeing some pretty very promising things in this trailer with Wallace and Gromit. I'm loving what they are showing with the animation. The humor, like I said, is a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to be pretty action-packed as well. So overall, I'm going to be optimistic about this one. Like, not like absolutely hyped just yet, but I am going to be optimistic.
What you're saying is that the Sonic 3 trailer got you much more hyped, because I agree.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm more hyped for that, yeah.
I understand.
But, I love stop motion, in general. I just, like I said, Memoir of a Snail just came out in digital. Y'all in the chat, please see Memoir of a Snail. It is adult, though, so, older people. But it's so good, so good.
It's out on digital?
Yep, it came out on digital, I think, today. Or if not, it comes out tomorrow, so... Y'all, please support it. Best animated movie of the year, unless you count Mars Express, which was 2023.
Oh, that's actually very good. I have been thinking about, like, wanting to watch the film. It's just, how do I go and check it out?
I can't. Yes, perfect. I can't wait to see a review from you. Honestly, I definitely want to hear what you think.
All right. So, just to let you know, if you guys are excited or are curious to go and check out Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Fowl, then keep in mind that it will be premiering on BBC on Christmas Day, and then it will be released on Netflix January 3rd. All right, so with that said, now let's go and check out the chat wall and ask you all, what did you all think about Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Fowl, or at least the trailer of it? Did it get you more hyped up, or are you a little bit more hesitant to watch it? Let me know what you all think. All right, let's see what we got here. So far, as an Anglophile, it looks like Paddington in Peru isn't the only British film I'm anticipating for January of next year. As for Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Fowl, it's great to not only see Nick Park's grand return on the director's chair after the failure of Early Man. Also, Ben Whitehead is doing a good job filling in for Peter Salus's role of Wallace after his passing in 2017. I hope this will be on par with a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon. Oh yeah, that is true. I love Farmageddon. That thing is hilarious.
I haven't seen Farmageddon. I gotta see that. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's so funny. You gotta check it.
It is? Okay. I will. I gotta catch up on some movies. So yeah. But I didn't know. Okay, so Nick Park didn't direct like Chicken Run 2 and stuff like that. That's cool that he's returning. So we'll see. He's a good director.
Let's see. Give Aardman credit. Bringing back Feathers McGraw makes more sense than bringing back Mrs. Tweedy. But for real, this looks absolutely charming and funny. Not only is Feathers still as intimidating as he was in Wrong Trousers, but Ben Whitehead makes for a great replacement for Peter Sallis as Wallace. And the animation is still great. even if it does seem like a bit of a retread of The Wrong Trousers, and that wasn't very cheese money of them, but I could be wrong, so it'll make for a good watch. All right. This certainly looks excellent, and given the reception, it's safe to say that Aardman is making a comeback similar to how Pixar did with Inside Out 2. One predicament about this film's Best Animated Feature Oscar nomination is that this is basically a direct-to-television film in its home country of the United Kingdom, as it will premiere on the BBC. But then again, you could pretty much argue with all the other Wallace and Gromit shorts as well. I mean, they've been winning Oscars, and this is pretty much a tradition for them. And I mean, they're already qualified for the awards, considering that they did have that premiere at the AFI festival. So already they're pretty much secure to go and, have the movie be represented for the... for the Oscars, for the Golden Globes, and for all that kind of stuff. So I'm not that worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, isn't the Looney Tunes thing that comes out next year, the movie, isn't that qualified for Oscar too?
Yes, it is. It's actually officially qualified.
I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see that as well. Let's see what else we got here. This looks like a classic Aardman romp. After Chicken Run 2, I was worried that the studio had lost its magic, but this looks like it will at least be a fun Wallace and Gromit adventure. I'm not really a fan of Wallace's new voice, but that's to be expected when a voice you've heard since childhood gets recast. Still, I can tell that this is going to be a great movie. You can't ruin Wallace and Gromit, even though DreamWorks tried. I mean, that
curse where a rabbit.
No, I love that movie, but it is true. But I think he's referring to how behind the scenes, DreamWorks really wanted to go and Americanize it. In fact, that's the reason why we actually have some of the voices like Helena Bonham Carter and I believe Ralph Fiennes as well in the cast. I'm not sure if it is Ralph Fiennes or Chadwell. You can go and correct me on that.
Not British. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. They wanted Aardman to do the typical American things to go and promote the feature, like, oh, you need big name stars and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, were they going to pull a Dougal where they just like take this one movie and then make it like replace whole voice cast?
No, they wouldn't go that far. Good
that was
God.
bad.
No, that was horrible. Oh my goodness. Anyways, we got a comment from someone who has actually seen the movie at AFI Fest. I honestly didn't have to see this trailer for Wallace and Gromit because I already saw it last month at AFI Fest. This was the world premiere of the movie. Without spoiling anything, I think it is quite an amazing comeback for Wallace and Gromit, and it's more of a sequel to The Wrong Trousers than Were-Rabbit. Worth watching. Also, Nick Park is an absolute gem.
That's dope. Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, definitely great. Jolly good time, boy. British Best Duo is back, and I cannot wait. I love Wallace and Gromit. It must have taken a Herculean effort to get Feathers McGraw back. I can't wait for this in 2025 when it comes out. And then we got this one here. As someone who really enjoys Wallace and Gromit, I'm very much looking forward to this. I definitely feel like this really does stay true to Wallace and Gromit. The animation is really beautiful, and it's cool that we see Feathers McGraw back again. So overall, I'm looking forward to this, and certainly this will definitely have a chance to get a nomination for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. And by the way, just want to go and double check on something just to be sure. All right, just want to know, just a refresher on what we have next. But I'll read a couple more comments, and then we're going to go on to our next break. Is it weird to say that I feel a little split about this? Now, don't get me wrong, I love the duo. Heck, I even requested the movie a while back, and it'll be fun to see them return, but this kind of gave me the vibe of Chicken Run 2. probably because the whole again moment they threw in makes me feel like a hard reference to the shorts. However, I'm not in doubt this will be bad. Heck, I'm impressed of Wallace's new acting role or of new actor, and there was some excitement there. I will be willing to see it if I get Netflix again. All right, let's see. One more comment. So let's see who I haven't. We're gonna have a lot of cheese soon. As a huge Wallace and Gromit fan, I'm very hyped for the dynamic duo's second feature-length adventure. The stop-motion animation is lovely. The humor is adorable. The characters are cheesy yet entertaining. And yes, the evil penguin is back for vengeance. Vengeance most foul, if you will. But in all seriousness, I'm definitely looking forward to this when January comes around. I'm just crackers about the movie's comeback. All right, so far, there have been some who have their doubts, and and a lot more that are pretty excited about this. So, if you are interested in checking out Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, then if you have BBC, then you could check it out on Christmas Day, or if you want to wait until it comes out on Netflix, then that'll be on January 3rd. All right, so we're going to go...
Sponsored by a VPN.
Yeah. Well, I actually saw in the chat wall, a lot of people are mentioning, like, get a VPN, prepare yourself with a VPN this Christmas. All right, so we will go on to our next break, and when we do come back, we're actually going to do a double trailer, where one after another, we will be seeing the two trailers that have come out from Pixar, so stay tuned for that. And we are back. Now, on to our next trailer or trailers that we have. We are going to go and check out what Pixar has in store in the near future, especially with our first trailer from Pixar that we have. Well, this is going to be the comeback of not just the biggest movie of the year, but also what is officially the biggest animated movie of all time. And chances are, Sarah, you have seen Inside Out 2, right?
Of course. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I saw it. I was just looking for my notes on what I said about these trailers. Sorry about that. But yeah, I saw Inside Out 2. You want to hear what I thought?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, y'all, but I didn't enjoy it.
Oh, dang! What's going on?
Wait, did you say same?
No. I actually really liked it.
I was like,
no,
there's
I
no
said,
way.
Oh, dang. No, I said, oh, dang.
I was like, wait, I thought, yeah.
No. I really liked it. But I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, I felt like it was a retread of the first one in so many ways and so many character arcs. And I liked like two scenes. I liked the scene that parodied the Apple commercial, and I liked the scene in I think it's like the deep dark secret place or whatever, there's some stuff there, but other than that, like, yeah, I felt like it was just a retread of the first one. I didn't really care for the new characters. I found them kind of annoying, and yeah, it didn't hit with me. Oh. I don't like when sequels do the same thing as the first one, honestly. No. That's what I felt like.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like, no, I understand that sentiment. Like, I've seen a lot of trailers. We just talked about Chicken Run 2, so, like, I get you there. But unfortunately, I'll have to disagree with you on that. I loved Inside Out 2. But it looks like we are going to be getting a lot more Inside Out 2, especially on Disney+. So, how about we go and check that out as we look into the trailer for the upcoming Disney Plus short series, Dream Productions.
From the world of Inside Out.
I'm Joy.
From the world of Inside Out.
I'm Joy. Welcome to headquarters.
You will be demoted to brain farts. That was the chair.
Only on Disney Plus.
And that was Dream Productions, to which it will be on Disney Plus December 11th. But hold on, we got one more trailer to go and take a look. And it's not about Inside Out, but rather their next movie. And thankfully, Pixar actually has an original animated feature that's going to be coming soon in 2025. So, with that said, let's go ahead and now take a look at the teaser trailer for the upcoming Pixar animated feature, Elio.
You need to meet people, make friends.
See us waving from such great heights, come down now.
And that is Elio, to which that movie is going to be coming out in theaters on June 13th. Now, Sarah, I know this is a lot to register with like 2 trailers at the same time, so how about we go like one after another? So let's start off with Dream Productions. What did you think of that?
Dream Productions, I'm sorry, maybe it's the Inside Out 2 rubbing off on me, which again I didn't really like. Doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, okay. I like the little beginning part where they had like Anger's face blurred. That was kind of funny as a joke. Like, oh, you didn't sign the release. But other than that, it was like, okay, like, oh, we got like an artsy director and they're super snobby and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, like horror director. Oh, like it feels like Monsters at Work to me or some crap. So I'm sorry, I was not into it. Mid-cool, as they called it, which it will be, you know, in between, maybe on different levels. So not a fan, but that's okay. What do you think?
For me, as someone who did, you know, as a fan of Inside Out with both films, I am curious to see. I mean, of course, they're going to go and take the direction of like almost the Office style kind of series, but I will admit, I don't know if any others have gotten this, but there's so much, like the fact that they're going to go and try to make this, make this production and stuff like that. There's oddly enough, a lot of this that reminds me so much of the 2015 Muppet series. It's all like, it's almost similar where you got...
Isn't it shot kind of like they're trying to imitate that too with the...
Yeah, the mockumentary style kind of thing.
The Office style. Yeah, the Office.
Yeah. Like they're doing that style of comedy. And it's all, you know, it's all about like the behind the scenes, about making entertainment, about, in this case, like making dreams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I really am down for the concept. Like like in the first Inside Out, I love the idea of how dreams is like this major movie studio that's going on.
Yeah.
So like seeing a little bit more of that, you know, that's going to be, you know, it looks like it's going to be fun. Now, is it going to be like highly memorable? I think that's something that we will wait and see. But then again, I will comment that when Disney and Pixar, when they go and make these kinds of shorts, they actually turn out to be a lot of fun. And there are some, like, I would even be surprised, like, I'd end up being surprised that I actually really liked. Like, some of them, like Zootopia Plus, Baymax, those were fantastic. But one that I was shocked that I really enjoyed was Cars on the Road. I'm not a big fan of the Cars movies, but that Cars series that they've done, that was surprisingly great. I would even
Cars
say...
4.
Yeah, kind of. But I would debate with myself that maybe it's my favorite of the Cars stuff that they put out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe if we're saying all the Cars stuff, I would say Radiator Springs at Disney California Adventures. That is actually...
I gotta go there. I so want to go there so bad.
It is it's really good. But in terms of like the animated stuff, I got to go with Cars on the Road. That was actually a lot of fun. So, and not to mention, there is a bonus one, Scrat Tales from Blue Sky Studios. That was the best thing from Ice Age since the first Ice Age. So honestly, they have a very good track record with these short animated series directly from those studios. So it does give me, you know, honestly thinking about that, it's like, okay, now they're doing one for Inside Out. That's going to be awesome. I'm definitely excited for that. So we'll see how this series is going to go. I don't know if it's going to match up to what the Inside Out movies have done, but it'll be like, you know, at best, it'll be like a very cute bonus.
I haven't seen any of those series except I saw Forky Asked a Question, Monsters at Work, at least half of it. So yeah, but unfortunately, Forky Asked a Question didn't really hit with me.
Nah, it didn't hit with me either. Even those ones are like, even those ones I'm like, meh. And this is coming from someone who loves the fourth. I love Toy Story 4, but Forky Asked a Question is like, nah. It's like, I can pass on that.
Yeah, so but maybe I have to see the Cars one, like you said, and maybe that'll get me more hyped for this Dream series. But yeah.
Yes, and now let's go and talk about Elio, their next original animated feature. What did you think of the teaser trailer?
Well, this is the second trailer, right? 'Cause I remember the first one was way back, right?
Yeah, technically, but this is now the new teaser trailer for the new release date of the movie.
I see. Yeah. Well, I like that they used a Postal Service song. That was great. But yeah, the first trailer really made me like, ugh, that first trailer didn't work. So I'm kind of scared that they're just kind of hamming up the sentimentality in this trailer because they're like, okay, people didn't respond well to the first trailer, but maybe by it being pushed back, maybe they are fixing some stuff with it there, the and everything. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I personally, again, I don't want to be a grump, but this one didn't really hit with me either. I'm not excited for this movie because to me, the Pixar track record just hasn't been great recently. Like, personally, I haven't loved a Pixar movie since, Toy Story 3, but Coco was great, and...
what about, Soul or Luca?
Like Soul, yeah, Coco and Soul I like. Maybe I like Coco a little more than Soul. I like those two. Yeah, other than that, Pixar hasn't really hit with me, and sometimes they'll go into that over sentimentality in some aspects, and it really doesn't work for me with the one with the fantasy world or whatever. I forgot the name of it. Onward, that didn't really work with me. They at first it started, and then they kind of pushed. Yeah. And then, like I said, Inside Out 2 does not work for me. I really did not like Inside Out 2. So, I don't know. So I'm not hyped personally. But, I will see it for sure because I am a Pixar diehard at heart, and I watch every movie from Pixar in theaters. I have always done that. So we'll see. I even saw Lightyear twice, which is garbage, but I saw it twice somehow.
You saw it twice? That's even more than me, at least in theaters.
I was so frustrated. I was like, oh, no way. And we missed the first 10 minutes. And I was like, did that thing really appear in the beginning where they mentioned this was the film Andy saw? So we just rewatched it again. And I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is not healthy. Hate watching something.
Yeah. No, but honestly, so okay, I have a different and interesting take. Honestly, I think I like that first teaser trailer a bit more than this one. At least with the first trailer, they do highlight a lot of the creativity and all the different designs of the different aliens, and that I thought it was really cool. That I think, in terms of the visuals, they're going to be able to go and sell this movie. The animation definitely works out great. But for me, honestly, the one thing that I feel like is a bit of a setback is the humor. I don't know. A lot of it, it sounds like they're a bit cliched in terms of what they have done in terms of animated kids films. They seem common that, and also the bathroom joke. This is really we're gonna throw in we're gonna throw in a bathroom joke this early. It's I don't know.
They used the Earth from the first one too. That was in the first teaser, right? Earth or something like that. It's it wasn't funny the first time, guys. I'm sorry.
And oddly enough, the Earth thing, I felt like it worked out more in the first trailer than it did on this. Sure. In this one, it just
was more goofy. This was overly sentimental.
This one just sounds like they recycled from that first trailer, because the funny thing is that you take a listen, on what they have done here. It feels like they're taking audio from that other trailer and just repurposing it in here.
Of Gom.
Helix, leader of Aluminum.
And you're the leader of?
Earth?
Hear that, everyone? It's the leader of Earth.
I don't know. Well, yeah, okay. Obviously, they took the dialogue from another scene, because like even like you see his mouth, like the lip sync is just absolutely off from what he said. But I mean, it's trailers, they do that very commonly, so I get it. But for me though, I will say that this doesn't mean that I'm not excited for it. You know, I could definitely see a lot of the potential, and it is, again, it's especially from the animation. I feel like so far, visually, it looks absolutely promising, but maybe there definitely needs a lot of work in terms of the comedy. But overall, though, it's like, I'm gonna remain optimistic. I'll be like the more lighthearted one and say like, okay, maybe there is potential on Elio. And I mean, especially in this day and age, like, okay, we're getting an original animated feature. So at least it's like, you know, at least I'm thankful that Pixar is trying.
Yeah, I was scared that, you know, we wouldn't get any more, but I guess because Elemental did decently, they didn't cancel plans of all animated features that were original from Pixar. Because I do like seeing them try new things, even if, you know, the recent ones haven't really hit. But I mean, those hit more to me than the sequels they've done recently. Because like I said, I like Soul and I like Coco. So, you know.
Yeah, no, that is fair. So overall, though, at least we are getting an idea of what Pixar will have in store, both with the familiar and the new as well. So we'll see.
I'll take that over Toy Story 5.
Yeah, I mean, well, the funny thing is that we're getting a bunch of original stuff from Pixar before Toy Story 5 comes in, because not only that, but keep in mind, we're also getting that Disney Plus series, Win or Lose.
When is that coming out?
February.
I keep hearing that's coming out, and then they keep pushing it or something. I'm like, what? The Pixar thing. No, I want to see that Beaver movie. Where the heck? That sounds interesting.
I was about to say, there's also that, and funny enough, that's coming out a few months before Toy Story 5.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least they're doing. If they're gonna do, well, I guess next year is the only Pixar movie Elio.
Yeah. Next year is gonna be Win or Lose, and then Elio. And then 2026, we're getting Hoppers, which is March of 2026, and Toy Story 5.
Okay, cool. So, you know, 2 original things next year. That's cool. And then I guess Incredibles 3 is like 2027 or something.
Yeah, that's going to be like way far ahead somewhere.
Which I didn't like Incredibles 2, but, you know, they have potential with Incredibles 3 because I agree that they should have done like a time skip or something. But,
that would be awesome. That would be interesting to see. All right, so with that said, though, now I would like to ask the chat wall, what did you all think about Dream Productions and Elio? Are you guys excited for it, or are you more on Sarah's side where, you know, maybe Pixar doesn't have anything exciting that's going to be coming out?
I'm excited for 2 things, but yeah, I mean, other than not Elio.
Well, I'm not portraying you as a total grump. I'm just saying that you're not like absolutely hyped up.
No, you're good. Yeah, I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry. I'm a little grumpy with movies.
Oh, don't worry. No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, like, it's the internet. It does that to everyone. Let's see what we got here. Both of these trailers look really impressive. For Dream Productions, I really like how they're going for this office-style series and making it a documentary-style show. As for Elio, I will agree that the humor is a bit weak, but the animation is absolutely beautiful. So overall, I'm looking forward to both of these. Although Elio is a bit more of a wait-and-see, besides, I'm just glad it's an original Pixar movie. All right. Both Dream Productions and Elio both look interesting. I'm more curious for how Dream Productions turns out, since it looks like to be a nice addition to the Inside Out franchise. As for Elio, I'm honestly iffy about. While it's not showing anything I hate for the trailer, it's also not showing me anything that grabs my attention. So yeah. In my opinion, DreamWorks production trailer is better than the Elio teaser. Actually, I am curious about your opinion. Which trailer did you prefer? The Dream Productions trailer?
Dream Productions, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. The only thing I liked about the Elio trailer was a make. And then the Dream Productions at least had that decent joke in the beginning, so I don't know. I might be, but I'm not. I'm going to see Elio over Dream Productions, so who knows? I'm more inclined to see that because it's the whole movie instead of like a series and stuff like that off of this franchise. I don't know, so yeah, like the trailer more, but probably more guaranteed to see Elio.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Dream Productions looked like a ton of fun and a nice spin on the Inside Out world. But Elio, though, Elio looks absolutely phenomenal with its stellar animation, pretty great emotional hook, cute comedy, and very likable lead protagonist, even if it does go into the liar reveal territory. I'll give Dream Productions a watch, but Elio is going to be a definite must-watch. Either way, Pixar is definitely cooking a 3-course gourmet meal with these. All right, we definitely there. That's the hype that we're talking about right there. Let's see now. Oh, I'll go with this. Dream Productions look like it's going to be a lot of fun. Pixar should make more movies and shows out of their minor characters. A biopic based on the founder of Pizza Planet would unironically go hard. As for Ellie, that would be interesting, actually.
I want to see them do that now. What the heck?
As for Elio, it looks really cute. I just wish the fate of every Pixar movie that isn't a sequel didn't get the rest of the shoulders of it and Hopper's box office performance. Toy Story 6 must not be allowed to happen. Oh,
it will
dear.
happen. Don't worry.
I mean,
we're getting Ice Age 6.
Yeah, that is sadly true. I mean, honestly, if there is one thing that I would go and blame is probably Fast and Furious. They went way too far. They're trying to go beyond like freaking Land Before Time at this point.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see what other comments are there. Very anticipated for both. I mean, who isn't? Seeing the way to show how dreams are made, it actually gives me interest how they'll pull it off and give out a good sense of humor. As for Elio, it'll be like watching an extended version of the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy, but a lot more cuter. Maybe not as great as the first teaser, but considering how well they made sci-fi films like Lightyear and WALL-E, then I think it's going to be a great addition to their collection. Honestly, that is an interesting way of looking into Elio. It's kind of like a spiritual successor to Guardians of the Galaxy of like Peter Quill's origins, but it's not attached to Marvel in a way. That is an interesting take. I will give it that.
I like one of their sci-fi efforts, WALL-E. I really didn't like the other one, but Lightyear, so we'll see. I mean, the opening to Toy Story 2 was an awesome Lightyear movie already. I mean,
yeah, that is true. And I would even argue that the first act of Lightyear is actually great. Like, I'll even admit, as much as I enjoyed Lightyear, it did fall off a little bit, like, after the sidekicks are coming in. Like, that's when it's like, okay, now you're going in the typical animated kids route. But like, the start of it, that first act, like, they were onto something great.
The first third is definitely my favorite out of all the acts of that. Yeah, I will agree there. I don't know if I loved it, but yeah, I will agree there. One thing I didn't like about that movie and stuff, it's very boring.
Sorry, could you repeat that? You kind of cut off right there.
Oh, sorry. I was saying one thing I didn't like about Lightyear was the color palette was kind of drab and stuff like that. I wish it was more colorful, like that Toy Story 2 opening and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they went extra on trying to look realistic. So yeah.
I think that, yeah.
Let's see. I'll read one more comment and then we could go on to our next break. Let's see. Who can I go with? I'll go with this one. Oh, actually, I'll go with this. Dream Productions looks cute. I'll check it out. Elio honestly looks like an improvement from the teaser last year. I still don't get the change, like changing Elio's mom into his aunt, the voice actress change, and just the director change. But in any case, this is interesting than previous before. I really hope the extra year wasn't too damaging. Elio seems like a sweet little bean boy who is weird, but also wants to express his interest to people. Involve them without shame. Sweet. Yeah, honestly, I was about to say, like, when you commented about how things looked with Elio. I don't know if you have known, but like there have been production troubles with Elio that they had to go and delay it to a year. Yeah, they had to delay it to a year, and there was a director change where now there's 2 directors, and one of them is Domi Shi, who previously directed Turning Red.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. And yeah, I didn't know they swapped mom for aunt. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. So yeah, those are the Pixar projects that we have coming soon. So once again, DreamWorks production is going to be coming out on Disney Plus on December 11th. And Elio...
DreamWorks production.
Oh, DreamWorks. Did I say DreamWorks? Gosh darn it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Pixar is making DreamWorks Animation right now, folks. And as I was saying, Elio is going to be coming out on June 13th. Now, we're going to go on to our next break. And when we do come back, there is going to be another movie that's coming out on June 13th. And let's just say that, well, I know you've been a little bit of a, well, as you say, a grump so far with these with some of these trailers. But depending on how you feel on the next one, I might join you on that. So stay tuned for that.
Heck yeah.
And we are back. Now, for the next trailer that we are about to watch, actually, before we go and talk about the trailer that we have in store for you, I just want to go and acknowledge that, yes, we are aware that Disney did release the teaser trailer for the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch. But I don't know if there really is that much to go and comment, because it's literally just 30 seconds of Stitch destroying a sandcastle. So not much to really go and comment or to really make a segment about. But the next one, though, oh boy, do we have a lot of things to go and say. Now, Sarah, you've seen the How to Train Your Dragon films, right?
Of course. Yeah. I love them. I haven't seen them in a while, but I love them. I saw them all in theaters. Seen 1 and 2 a couple times at home. I love them. I love the world, love the characters, love the animation, you know?
Oh, of course.
Adorable dragon designs, too.
Just
cute.
just curious, did you also see any of the shows that they have made of How to Train Your Dragon?
That I did not see, unfortunately.
Honestly, I haven't either, but I've heard some good things about them.
Really? Okay. Because I was just so burned from, like, Penguins of Madagascar, you know? That's probably, like, I've seen too much of that.
True. Well,
I
at
think
least...
the Kung Fu Panda show, yeah.
Or at least, like, the main one featuring, like, the regular cast, like, with Hiccup and stuff like that. The new one that is, like, set in modern times, like, that one, from what I've heard, it's like, I don't know, it's a bit iffy.
Set in what do you mean by set in modern times?
You don't know. There's a new How to Train Your Dragon series that it recently came out like a year or a year or two ago, that is actually set in today's age, and we get to see like new dragons, and one of them just so happens to be the kid of Toothless and Light Fury.
Okay, I'm morbidly curious to check this out.
That is a thing. Go look it up.
At least they're doing new stuff with it, right? So I'll check it out.
Yes, that is true. But before you go and check that, actually, first we will have to see the theatrical return of How to Train Your Dragon. But you will see that the look is a lot more different than you may remember. So with that said, now let's go ahead and check out the teaser trailer for the upcoming live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. And that is How to Train Your Dragon, the 2025 live-action remake, to which the film shall be released in theaters on June 13th. So, Sarah, what did you think of what we have just witnessed here?
I am so sick of live action remakes of animated features. I don't know if there's been one that has hit for me. I mean, I liked the Jungle Book one back in the day. But I can't stand these. Like the original film of How to Train Your Dragon is great already, and the animation has such a distinguished look. And then when you look at this, it just looks like a really drab, dried out world. And then you have, a decent, more realistic Toothless that doesn't look like, horrifying or anything, like original Ugly Sonic or stuff like that. But at the end of the day, why would I watch this? I just want to watch the original movie, Like, what's the point of this,
Yeah.
I guess.
Nah, I understand. In fact, I actually have the perfect reaction. Honestly, after watching this the first time, I felt like Gober in the second film, like right over here.
You just have to handle it delicately, so...
You might want to take this one.
Yeah, that's literally how I felt. I just looked at that trailer and I'm just there like, oh boy, we're really doing this, are we?
I know, it's like I really like I mean, have you liked any of the ones that this is DreamWorks' first live action remake?
Mm-hmm.
God forbid we get like a Shrek one sometime. But have you ever liked any of these like live action remakes of animated movies?
Not necessarily. I mean, like there are some that honestly I would say that they could, like, there are a few that I would say they're like okay maybe, but there's a lot of them there's a lot of them that's like, but most of them, like, they're just like, they very much are unnecessary and they feel like a significant downgrade. Not to mention, like, the CGI in them are like terrifying. Like, the Little Mermaid from last year, I consider that to also be just okay, but my God, the CGI on like Sebastian and Flounder and stuff like that, it's nightmare inducing.
And then most of the time they'll like make the songs worse by like adding like crappy auto-tune and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, again, the original one exists and it's great, so just let's watch that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
money.
do you want to? Okay, but do you want to know the thing that I personally feel like is so mind-blowingly dumb about How to Train Your Dragon in particular? Because this is not just the first time that Universal is going to be doing this, but keep in mind, this is also, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first ever live-action remake of a computer animated film. Because previously, it's all been hand-drawn animated features. So with this...
You might be right. Well, I mean, yeah, it beat Moana by like a year or whatever.
Exactly. So imagine this. The thing is that with these live-action remakes, some could make the argument of, okay, well, you're taking one film medium and you're transforming it into something else. Like, you're taking, like, for example, the Lilo and Stitch one. You're taking a 2D character like Stitch, and now you're transitioning him into 3D. What are they doing with the dragons? They're taking CG dragons, and they're turning them into CG dragons. But this time around, they're putting in a different filter where now you take a look at Toothless, and it's just that here, let's get rid of that. Like, you look at Toothless and
so much less adorable.
Yeah, like now his texture pops out a lot more. Like, now he's a lot more scaly. They're putting in so many details on his eyes and stuff like that.
It's weird because like the humans don't look like that and the dragons look more cartoony, but they don't look cartoony enough. It's like, exactly, it just makes me like, why does it need to exist? And look, my favorite animated movie of all time is Toy Story 2. That didn't need to exist. They did amazing stuff with that. They did not retread the first one at all. This is just a retread of a beloved movie. So
yeah, and so far, from what we have been seeing in this teaser trailer, like, yeah, I know it's just a minute long and stuff like that, and like we didn't see much, but so far, a lot of it feels like the exact same thing. And the biggest thing it wants to highlight is the first bond between Hiccup and Toothless, which they made a shot-for-shot remake. So at that point, I'm just wondering, what new are you going to do with this film? Will you add like something fresh with it? Are you going to make a significant update, or is this going to be like the Aladdin remake or the Lion King remake, where you're just literally creating the same film, nearly shot by shot, but now in live action?
Well, I'll say this with Aladdin and Lion King. Lion King wasn't live action, of course, it was animated, but that remake, like, they added things that like did not need to be there. Like they had like that subplot with Simba's mom, I believe, or whatever, that was like really annoying in the first in that Lion King movie. Aladdin had another subplot with like Jasmine's friends and stuff that was really annoying.
I hated Jasmine's friend. Oh my god, that addition was awful.
They're just bloating the runtime, so it's now not even like I love a great long animated movie. I love a great short animated movie, and a lot of these movies had brisk pacing. They didn't feel overlong and everything like that, like the original Lion King and the original Aladdin and stuff like that. And they just bloat this runtime, I don't know, so that they could get more streaming hours on like Disney Plus or whatever. I mean, this wouldn't be Disney Plus, but you get my point. It's just unnecessary. They're adding in more crap that doesn't need to be there, not changing the core essence of the movie, and just doing that original movie but worse.
You know what I would consider what I consider to be my favorite that they did? It's like it's also like the worst, but it's also like hilariously stupid that they've done. Do you remember in the Lion King remake the journey of Simba's little hair to go to Rafiki? Remember how they dragged that on, and even showing a moment of how it turned into poo during the process?
I barely remember that movie, so I want to see this clip again. That's hilarious. That's awful.
Oh my god, it's so dumb, honestly. That's the one addition. It feels so like it fully proves like the absolute padding they would go, but it's like it's so funny that like millions of dollars had to be spent just for the journey of that little hair.
Literally, yeah, and like, they butchered so much of the music. Like, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, like, just sucks compared to the original. And then, like, I don't even know if they even attempted to do Be Prepared, which is my favorite song from them.
No,
like,
they half-assed Be Prepared.
Lame, so bad. It was so bad, so bad. The classic, like, the Fossa death scene and everything. Like, that was done so horribly compared to the original. Like, the no has been memed to death, like all that stuff. It's just like, that one really ticked me off because I love Lion King OG, but yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. But the point is like with these remakes, like so far they have yet to really justify their existence, and so far I'm like, even though it's just like a short 1-minute clip, I have not seen like what extra are they going to do with How to Train Your Dragon. Now, the one thing that is worth noting that I think it is worth addressing that is giving people some hope for this is that this movie is going to be directed by one of the directors of the original film, Dean DeBlois. He is going to be in charge of this and trying to bring this whole movie to life. And I mean, technically you could argue that it does look good so far. It does look like what they're trying to pull with a live action How to Train Your Dragon, along with all the sets, with the costumes. Like
for me, I don't know. Yeah, like the costumes, I guess, are fine, but I don't like the color palette of the film so far, and the sets just look so much less vibrant than the animated movie for me. Bringing him back, though, he did do, I think he wrote and directed 2 and 3 solo as well. So, at least it is somebody familiar with the films and with the creative mind behind the films.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like he has, I definitely love what Dean DeBlois has done, and I especially love what he did with the sequels. The second, I actually consider that to be my favorite of the How to Train Your Dragon films. I gotta
rewatch them all, really rank.
But I will say that with this one in particular, it's just I don't see anything that is really impressing me, and honestly, I just like all I see is just How to Train Your Dragon again. Like, so far, I've yet to see anything that is new, anything to justify why How to Train Your Dragon needs to be remade, or especially, why do we need to bring these computer animated dragons and have them updated to look live action? It's just, like, that thing in itself I just found to be so confounding. It's like, why would you go and do this? It feels like you're just you're literally copying you're literally copying assets of what DreamWorks Animation has done and then paste it. Like, you might as well have it be a small budget, because like a lot of the animation has already been done back in like the late 2000s.
Yeah. And I still think, the original film holds up. I don't think it's like, I could even, like, I love Toy Story 1. If they made an animated remake of Toy Story 1, that wouldn't be like the biggest waste out there, if they just, not even remake, but they just re-rendered it, because some of Toy Story 1 doesn't hold up. I think How to Train Your Dragon, like, the animation still holds up and everything there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm just biased, but yeah, I really don't like, animated remakes trying to be realistic, like Lion King and crap like that. So
yeah, no, I understand. I feel the same way. And even with this, it's just, yeah, no. I think, I don't know, at least in my opinion, so far, even though I wasn't as impressed by the teaser trailer, but considering both of these films are coming out at the same time, I'm definitely going with Elio over How to Train Your Dragon. If I have
easily.
To pick.
I'm literally gonna not support How to Train Your Dragon financially. I'm not gonna see it. Like, I'm literally gonna skip it. I just can't. Like, I'm not gonna give this money.
Yeah, honestly, I sadly don't have much of a choice. I have to do it for my job. I got to review it.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I was like, with all this stuff with Pixar, at least they've never remade any of their movies.
Yeah.
Like, live action. So that's something. And if DreamWorks does another, what would they do next?
I don't know. Like, I feel like the worst case scenario, like the nightmare scenario, would be if How to Train Your Dragon does turn out to be successful, like it would influence other studios as well to go and do it. Like, honestly, one thing that I feared is like they see how to Train Your Dragon and how that does, and then Sony will get ideas, and then suddenly, Hotel Transylvania live action remake. Yeah, my favorite.
Your favorite ever.
Yum, yum, yum. My favorites. Live action remake. Let's go.
I definitely like that movie more than you, but one of the pros of that movie is, to me at least, we disagree here. I love over animation of a lot of the character movements and everything there, and that's going to be just lost with live action. So it's like,
it wouldn't stop. I don't think it would stop Sony though.
Oh yeah, it's not going to stop Sony. But one thing is, like, they have one opportunity they could do, which would be make a live action Shrek. Don't make it based off the first one. Make a new story that parodies these live action remakes that Disney's been doing, because the original Shrek was a parody of a lot of Disney stuff. So they could do something there if they did like a live action Shrek that's a parody of all of these crappy live action remakes. I don't think they're self-aware enough to do that nowadays.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, you do have an idea right there, but I don't know if they would take it that far.
They would never.
Yeah, so anyways, I think we've pretty much summarized our thoughts on the How to Train Your Dragon teaser. So far, we're really not impressed by it, but who knows? Maybe by the time the next trailer does come along, maybe they'll show us something new. But if you are interested in the How to Train Your Dragon remake, then keep in mind that it will be coming to theaters on June 13th. All right, now with that said, let's go into the chat wall, and let me ask you all, what did you all think about the How to Train Your Dragon teaser? Did you guys actually like this, or were you turned off by this? Let me know what you all think. All right, let's see what we got here now. We have both Chris Sanders related remakes coming out this summer, and guess what? We are mostly mad. How to Train Your Dragon remake looks exactly the same. If I want that, I'll watch the original. At least the visual effects for Toothless looks great. I'll give them that. I would mostly say the same thing about the Lilo and Stitch remake. At least Chris Sanders is back as Stitch, and the visual effects on Stitch looks pretty good. Overall, it's all unnecessary. Yeah, exactly. Like, the work that will be done on that, like, in terms of the visual effects, maybe it won't be that bad, but still, though, it's just, you're putting your talents on that?
Hundreds of millions of dollars in this, yeah. The one thing about the Stitch movie is, like, it's directed by the person who did Marcel the Shell, which was really cool.
Yes.
We've had, like, what's his name? The writer of a lot of movies I like, the Girls and stuff like that, if you've ever seen that movie. But he wrote like the Lady and the Tramp remake, and it was still, none of his voice was there. So I literally can't be like, oh, well, this great director or writer is back for these live action ones to add their own voice, because it seems like these studios just mandate what's in the movie at the end of the day, and they don't really get much of a creative vision. But if the Marcel the Shell director puts his vision in Stitch, it could actually be good. But so far, I'm not thinking that's going to happen.
Well, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see on that. We'll wait until we have a real trailer, not just Stitch taking down a sandcastle.
I mean, like, how is Pleakley gonna look? You know, like, there's gonna be questions.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. That's going to require a lot of makeup to go and cover that mess.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's gonna be
all right. That trailer just made Elio even more of a must-watch. As someone who considers the original one of DreamWorks' best movies, this whole thing just feels so empty. I guess the cast is okay and the visuals are fine, but at the same time, my big question is, why? Do we really need a remake that just gives it the Lion King treatment? Needless to say, I will not be watching it, but at least there isn't going to be something as bad as The Scuttlebutt. That song was ass. Oh my god.
Don't remind me of that.
Yeah. It's like, speaking of unnecessary padding, oh my god.
I hate that it's an awful, awful song, but it's catchy, which is not a good thing. So now it's playing in my mind, that freaking awful like bridge part. I'm like, oh, okay, we gotta not think about it. It's the scuttlebutt. Yeah.
Oh god, no. It's like, how is this from Lin-Manuel Miranda and Alan Menken? Two legendary names, and then you come out with the freaking scuttlebutt.
Yeah, honestly, I think like they added 2 or 3 songs to The Little Mermaid, and like they all sucked.
I mean, honestly, the only additional song in any Disney live action remake that I could think of that's actually kind of enjoyable is Evermore in Beauty and the Beast, the Beast song. Like, that one, I thought it was good. The rest is like, nobody remembers them.
Beauty and the Beast was one of the better ones of them, but to me it's still like massively forgettable, and I think about the original movie every time I think about Beauty and the Beast, you know?
Yeah. Let's see now. DreamWorks has become what it is set out to destroy. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this actually looks worse than Disney's live-action remakes. This looks so lifeless, and the dragons, Toothless especially, looks horrific in live action. Like you said, AniMat, Toothless was already CGI. We should have been easy. It should have been easy to translate, but he looks like a puppeteered corpse. They didn't even get Hiccup right, and they didn't even have to have that much. They didn't even have to do much to get it right. All right, let's see.
Well, speaking of puppet, it would have been kind of cool if we got like a toothless puppet, like, you know, creature shop design or something in this.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that would be something interesting.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
But of course they wouldn't.
Man, we are at the point that other studios outside from Disney are making live action remakes to animated movies. What world are we living in? While I'll give it that the remakes looks nice, it just feels like a shot-for-shot remake of the animated movie, but have it feel more empty. If this is going to be a shot-for-shot remake of the animated film, then it's going to have the same problems as the 2019 Lion King remake, and it'll feel unnecessary. So yeah, not excited for this. All right, let's see what other comments. Okay, I don't usually rant on live-action remakes too much, but man, this really feels like they ruined the life out of one of the best animated films from 2010. It's like the live-action production used an animated film as a storyboard, and the movie is still 90% animated. Seems that Universal is now going to compete with Disney for live action remakes, and the execs are scared of new ideas right now for some reason. Okay. I feel like this is arguably an even worse idea than the Disney live action remake. Okay, hear me out. So far, all of Disney's live action remakes were based on 2D movies. 2D animation doesn't have the same sort of detail that 3D animation does. Hypothetically, one could put more details into the costumes and settings that you couldn't in 2D. Adapting a 3D animated film into live action feels redundant. They can't bother to do the books to be different. Exactly. Like you could have done something like in the Jungle Book that mixes elements from the original movie and the book. But if you're just going to go shot for shot remake and just focus on the animated film, then at that point it's like at some point there will be nowhere where I'm going to not ask, why am I not watching the original instead?
I mean, like, it's insane that the Moana one's coming out, because that's even more recent than How to Train Your Dragon. In between a sequel for it. Did
you see the pictures with Dwayne Johnson as Maui?
The leaked picture? Oh my gosh, that was awful. That was awful.
You know the worst thing about it is that think about it. Mini Maui might be in the remake, and we're going to be getting so many uncomfortable close-up shots of his chest and his body. Do you realize how weird it's going to be?
It's going to be, oh my gosh.
It's like, why would you do this to us?
That's funny. That's a scary thought.
All right. Let's see what other comments are there. Let's see. I read that one. I read this one. There is no need for Universal to make a live action version of How to Train Your Dragon, because they already made a live action version of How to Train Your Dragon 14 years before How to Train Your Dragon even existed, with the movie Dragonheart. Sadly, this remake doesn't have a CGI dragon with a Sean Connery voice. Yeah, that is true. We've already gotten like these dragon movies beforehand, so like, do we need them again?
Dragonheart.
I've heard it is interesting. Like it's one of those that has like a devoted cult following.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'll read one more comment and then we're gonna move on to the next break. Do we really need this remake to happen? I still remember the time when it was a rumor back in January of last year, and after seeing the trailer, yeah, Elio is better and more interesting by comparison. The world looks unimpressive. The CGI on Toothless looks the same, and that's it. Not gonna lie, the new Minecraft movie trailer looks more impressive than that. Again, Elio looks far more interesting than a remake. So, yeah, I guess it's safe to say that we're doing promotional work for Elio in this case.
For real.
But for those of you who are still curious about How to Train Your Dragon, then keep in mind that the movie will be coming out later in the summer of 2025 on June 13th. All right, so we're going to do one more break, and when we do come back, I think I could say, in my opinion, I might have saved the best trailer for last, so stay tuned for that one. And now, it is time that we will go and cap this episode off with the grand finale. And for this finale, like I said before, I think I saved the best trailer for last. And this one, unlike the others, well, you gotta be patient because this is gonna be coming out in the second half of 2025. But before we go and check this one out, Sarah, I would like to go and ask you, have you seen The Bad Guys?
Bad Guys. I have seen The Bad Guys. I'll be honest. Oh. I didn't really like the first one that much. I'm sorry. I'm so freaking grumpy. But I'm sorry. It just like, I don't know. I didn't really like the plot, and I didn't like the humor like at all. Like the humor I found really annoying. But there were cool character designs. But then again, I was kind of like, oh, this is a world where it's like all the prominent characters are animals, but then the background characters are humans and stuff, which was like, I kind of wish it was just like more animals and humans like as a fair mix, but it felt way more outweighed by like humans, except for the characters that are important. Maybe I'm wrong there. But yeah, great character designs. Diane Foxington is a great character. But yeah, that's my experience with the first movie.
Honestly, I will say though that there was at one point I was actually very curious about like the world of the bad guys and how it is like a clear mixture of humans and anthropomorphic animals, and I was wondering like, does it have like, is there like interspecies relationships that happens in that world? Like, like, are there people in the universe of the bad guys that they also have the hots for Diane? Like it did get me curious.
Good question. We'll explore that in the sequel. They do have actually in the trailer, I mean, not saying there is an interspecial relationship, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, that is definitely true. So with that said, let's go and check out our final trailer as we will take a look at The Bad Guys 2.
Showtime. Why is she in his mouth?
And that is The Bad Guys 2, to which the movie shall be coming out in theaters on August 1st. Now, Sarah, as someone who's not a big fan of the first Bad Guys, what did you think of this trailer?
I mean, okay, I have comments. The Billie Eilish, I get kind of annoyed by this trope in trailers where they have the epic music rendition of a popular song. So it was kind of funny to see like the car honking that. But yeah, it looks a little bit bigger scale, and I actually kind of like the animation more in this than the original film. So I have high hopes. Not seeing enough Diane Foxington. I hope she's more prominent in this movie. But yeah, I mean, there were some funny parts, honestly. I mean, the joke at the end was kind of funny, honestly. So I'm more hyped for this than, say, even maybe Elio.
Oh, nice. I will say, like, just to go and express my thoughts, I really did enjoy the first Bad Guys. Although I do agree with you that the plot was weak. That's the part where I personally felt like it was disappointing that it just felt generic, and like the tropes made it very clear on how the flow of the movie is going to be, and like makes it so predictable. But I very much enjoyed a lot of the other elements. Like, I love the characters, I love the humor, I love the animation, and I love the action as well. Like they definitely were able to make this like action packed on top of all that. And this one, what we have seen, it looks like they are delivering, or I would even say double down on the elements that people really enjoyed in the first part. Like, especially the two standout things for me were the humor and the action, especially. Like, the comedy, like we mentioned, it was great, especially with the new characters and the relationship at the end with Snake and the Crow Lady. Like, suddenly, like the way they would make out with each other, it's like what is this how is this supposed to be romantic? Yeah, that I'll admit, that was actually that was great. Yeah. Like, the comedy, they were able to nail it very well. But also the action. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to go and watch. Even like going up above and beyond what they have done in the first movie. So in that regard, that I'm going to be very excited to go and check out. Like really emphasizing that it is going to be like a summer blockbuster, but as an animated film. So it's go on.
I felt like this has a higher budget. Like, if it looks like it has a higher budget, like in many ways, like they're putting more money into this because they're more confident with the property, which I think is a good thing.
Possibly.
I felt like
But it is also worth noting that DreamWorks is changing animation studios with this one, because maybe you have heard, but The Wild Robot is the last film that DreamWorks Animation is going to do fully in-house. Now, with the future animated films, like with Dogman and The Bad Guys 2, they're going to outsource their animation at Sony ImageWorks.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this. Wow, that's interesting. Well, like I said, I think I like the animation in this one more, so that's cool. Like,
Yeah,
at least
the
from what
the
I've seen.
anime. Yeah, I do agree. I do notice that the animation feels like it did get a bit of a boost as well, while staying true to the original style that they have developed before. So already the animation is very much impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, out of all the movies today, I am most hyped for this. I think that we've seen.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I think I'm on the same page as you. I feel like out of all the trailers we have seen, this is the one that I am the most excited about, or I feel like is the best trailer that we have seen. I mean, yeah, sure. I am excited to go and check out some of the things that are going to be coming out as well. Like I am excited for Vengeance Most Fowl and for Elio. But this, on the other hand, is like, oh my goodness, this is the one that I feel confident that this is going to come out as great. This is going to come out as a lot of fun. Like the elements that the elements that I've enjoyed in the first movie, not only are they going to be coming back, but they're going to be like a lot more prominent and like really making the most out of the materials that they had and then some. The only criticism that I do have, however, with this trailer in particular is that the plot doesn't seem that great because it feels like now the bad guys is kind of retreading the similar steps to what Despicable Me and some other films have done before. You know, like the villains that have retired, but now there are new characters coming in say, oh, come on, can you be villains one more time? And then they're like,
And also,
oh.
yeah, the new characters, it's like, oh, they're the girls, It's like, what is this? Alvin and Chipmunks or, Puss in Boots 1? Like, come on.
Yeah, so, yeah, now we're getting the girl bad guys.
It's like, hey, you already got my girl, Diane Foxington, who wasn't part of the crew, but,
Well, I mean, there's also Miss
her.
Tarantula as well.
That's true. That's true. Exactly. That's true. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like, but then,
right?
Yeah, but then again, I guess like with Aquafina, like she's in just about every animated film nowadays. It's hard to keep track.
Scuttlebutt, but yeah.
Speaking of scuttlebutt, we got now we got Aquafina again coming back here. But yeah, there are those tropes that are prominent in this as well, and that's probably the one thing that's kind of like holding back from the prospects that maybe this is going to be like a perfect animated feature. But still, though, it doesn't necessarily hide the fact that what they are selling with like the positives with it, they really are positive. So overall, yeah, I'm definitely excited. Like already the Bad Guys 2 is already up there on my list of like one of the most anticipated films of 2025 for me, right next to Zootopia 2 even.
That one I'm more hyped for because I love the first Zootopia.
Oh yeah, I love it as well. I mean, I love it as well. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. So like, I'm definitely excited to see what they have in store with the second, especially that Byron Howard is coming back as the director of this. So that gives me a lot more confidence that like it's really gonna be worthwhile.
I hope so. Yeah.
But now with the Bad Guys 2, though, I am also going to be putting that up on my list of like total hype of what we'll have in store.
Yeah, same.
All right, so now with that said, I would like to go onto the chat wall, and now I will go and ask you all, what did you think of the sequel to The Bad Guys, or the trailer of The Bad Guys 2? Are you guys as excited as we are for it? Do you have any questions that you want to go and ask? Let me know what you think. And also, I want to do something a little bit fun. I'm going to go onto the chat right over here, and I want to make a little bit of a poll. And I want to say, which trailer is your, is your favorite? So let me just go and list down the ones that we have seen. Sonic 3, and then there is where is it? NG, Vengeance Most Fowl. Then we got Elio, And we're going to skip How to Train Your Dragon because I don't think anybody's going to vote for that. And we'll put in The Bad Guys 2. And might as well also add Dream Productions. All right, so let's see what the votes are going to be on this. All right, anyways, let's see what the chat wall has to say over here. Let's see now. This got me sold better than the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake teaser. The animation is still spot on like the first. The humor is amazing. And also the French kissing at the end. My boy Snake got skills, y'all. Are those skills? I don't know. That feels like overkill right there. And there's also another reason I'm hyped to see this movie. It's not only because of Diana Fox, but Kitty as well. For example, the muscles and intimidation. I know I'm a simp for this, but it's true. But overall, I'm very anticipated for the movie next year when I move. All right.
That's funny.
Let's see. Wait, this is false advertising. This wasn't bad at all. This looks like as fun as the first movie. Retaining its great character dynamics, brilliant animation, high octane action, and top-notch comedy. I'll admit the joke with Snake and the Bird made me laugh way harder than it should have. It's gonna be a great watch, assuming I'm back from my vacation at this time. Also, I'm not a furry, but Diane. That's all I'm gonna say. Good night, folks. Yeah,
I am furry. So I got to see all these.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I understand that with Diane, she's like one of those transition furries that, like, a little bit like Rouge the Bat. That, you know, like, even someone like me who's not a furry, you look at her and I look at her and I'm like, I'm not a furry. But
Judy Hopps, yeah.
Oh yeah. As someone who really enjoys the first Bad Guys, this trailer looks awesome. It looks like it could be a great sequel to the original. The animation is still great, even though it isn't in-house anymore. The characters, both old and new, seem fun, and the humor is great. So overall, this has me excited, and I'm sure 2025 is going to be the year of animated furry movies. Oh boy, will it.
Yeah, I guess so. Wait, AniMat, are you more hyped for this or Dogman? Because I don't have any hype for Dogman.
Oh, no. Bad Guys 2. I mean, like, Dogman looks cute, honestly, but I don't have much attachment to it as much as Captain Underpants. Nah, I'm definitely a lot more excited for the Bad Guys 2.
Same, yeah. I'm like, I don't even know if I'll see Dogman.
I mean, I'll have to, but I mean, I'm just hoping for something cute. Let's see. Yeah. As someone who really enjoyed the first oh, no, I already read that. Sorry. Let's see here. If Disney made this move, oh, well, this is just going to be a rant. So I'll just, fine. I've already gotten into here. So if Disney made this movie, those kinds of YouTubers would be ranting about how the bad guys have gone woke just because of the new female characters. Anyways, this looks like it's going to be hilarious. I'm not sold on the story, and the animation definitely took a dip in quality, but the comedy alone has sold me on this movie. We need to support this DreamWorks movie and not the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. By the way, I just want to go and double-check. Oh, this is interesting. But according to the poll that I have made, over half of you, 52%, have actually voted for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The Bad Guys 2 got second place with 33% of the votes. Oh, wow. So, by the way, just a side note, Sarah, someone is asking for what is your fursona, apparently?
It's a skunk girl.
Oh.
Skunky.
Okay. I don't even know.
I gotta watch all the animated movies with that. Like, I watched that stupid, like, chicken hair movie, which was like a
oh yes,
it was awful. It was awful.
Yeah, it had a lot. It had a lot of potential, but I don't know. For me, with that skunk girl, it's like, yeah, she attracts a type. I'm just gonna say that.
Lesbian coded.
Well, okay, well there is that, but I mean, there's the other thing as well. There's her weapon.
Oh my gosh! Well, these freaking movies, they always do that, and it's like, ugh, it ticks me off. Like it's always like, oh, they're undesirable or whatever, and like, ugh, yeah, don't get me started on the over the hedge. I hate skunk so much. Ugh.
Anyways, I really like the first movie, and this looks like to be on par with the first. The animation looks as awesome as the first, the humor is pretty funny, it looks action-packed as hell, and the last scene was freaky. Overall, I'm really anticipated for this sequel, but really though, as Mr. Piranha said, why was she in his mouth? Yes.
Wait, AniMat, do you want Sonic 3 or Bad Guys more? Bad Guys 2?
Honestly, good question. I might have to go with the Bad Guys 2. I mean, Sonic 3 definitely does look like a lot of fun, but like I feel like Sonic 3 looks like it's going to be great as a popcorn movie, but as a movie, I have more confidence in the Bad Guys 2.
Same, yeah, I totally agree there.
Yeah, so like I'll have hype for both, and I want to see both, but I have more anticipation.
I'll see both opening day.
Yeah, sounds fair. You know, when you do think about it, 2025 is basically the year of furries. Since we got the Bad Guys 2, Zootopia 2, and Zootopia 2 coming out the same. Now, all I'm thinking is that furry artists are going to be looking at 2 movies like that guy in the tornado memes yelling, "Here they come!" Okay, let's see. I think I'll have one more comment to read, and then we'll cap things off from there. After facing a mood whiplash from these trailers galore, this got me amped all over again. I like the first film a lot. I even saw it twice, even after watching it online. Don't ask. And just to see them again doing another heist, I'm definitely excited to see what they'll pull off. Heck, I do know DreamWorks can make gold when they make a second. So who to say that this won't be even more interesting than the first? So far, this is a major yes. As long as no idiot place it on the internet early. Place it on the internet early. Yeah, that's definitely true.
Wait, did the first one get leaked online or something?
I think so. I don't remember, but apparently that seemed to be a thing.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I love Puss in Boots 2. Puss in Boots 1 sucks. Puss in Boots 2, furry movie as well. And it's such an improvement from the first. In so many ways.
I'll have to agree. It's one of those rare occasions where the second is much better than the first. And I even enjoyed the first movie. But with that said, that should do it for today's episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me on this. This was definitely a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me on. This was so much fun. I would love to come on again. This was great.
Yes, and by the way, before we go, since there are some people that I'm sure who have watched or listened to this, they've had a great time with you. Where can we follow you on the internet?
All right, thank you. On Just Too Good, that's my most popular YouTube where I do Lego videos of all kinds. But also, I have Just To Film, where I upload film reviews. I'm a little behind on that. I've been doing that a lot this year. It was something I didn't really do before. But if you want my writing in film, check out Just Too Good on Letterboxd, because I have some reviews that... I love writing reviews and stuff of films and everything. So I have a bunch of reviews of just about every movie. So go check that out. But yeah, Just To Film, Just Too Good on various social media. That's me.
All right. So with that said, also, if you guys enjoyed AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, then don't forget to go and subscribe to the AniMat Live Twitch channel and the AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast YouTube channel. And if you are listening to this on whatever podcast service you're listening to, then don't forget to go and follow me there, whether it be on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and more. And with all that said and done, I would like to say thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, see you later, dudes. You can say bye too, also.
Oh, bye.
Don't worry, everybody does that.